Hello. I decided to try to do something different and try a different format rather than just laying in bed and doing the stream of consciousness thing, which is, of course, self-indulgent, and I enjoy it, but people's time is valuable. Anyways, I took down the last video I had where I recounted the events of eviction day, and this will probably be a repeat for a lot of people. But anyways, what happened on eviction day is they were set to be evicted at 10 p.m. These are people that are criminals, that squatters, that I threatened with a machete, that were drug dealers, part of a whole meth trade that was going on here. Whole big drama. Anyway, so they were squatting here for about 2 months and 10 days without paying a dime in rent. And they didn't have a key to the front door, which meant that the people that actually were here paying rent, and we figured out $72,000 worth of rent, were not allowed to lock the front door, our own front door, on our own 4-unit apartment building, because these people who had paid not one thin dime were squatting and therefore have legal rights. So anyways, that takes us to the day of the eviction. On the eviction day, I wake up at 9:30 and I'm just hearing chaos in here. The time that the bailiff appointment was 10 o'clock. But what I learned was that that is not set in stone, because the bailiff showed up at 9:25 and told those people, "Get your shit out of here now." And they were like, "I thought we had till 10 o'clock. And he said, that is just a courtesy that's written on a piece of paper. You should have had this taken care of already. Get your shit out of there now." So anyways, this is what I had just woken up, and this was 9:25. I had woke up at 9:30. So this is confirmed from two different sources: my neighbors that live in the house to the left of me, and my landlord who I talked to. So they pile all their stuff out in a hurry, and even before 10 o'clock, I'm hearing a drill, which is a padlock being installed on the apartment upstairs. And yeah, okay, there's a motorcycle pulled up outside, and voices, and a police car just went flying by. So yeah, you might get the impression that I live in a bad neighborhood, but I really don't. Anyways, in the story, so anyway, I go back into I get to actually go into the lair of evil, into the squatter's paradise for 2 months and 10 days, because when I paid the rent, the landlord said he's got to do something upstairs, and I said, "Can I go up there and check it out?" And well, I guess I got to remake this. Well, maybe not. There's just a lot of noise here right now. Okay, I guess that's past. Okay, I'm frustrated now. I'm supposed to try to be making a shorter video, and I'm getting interrupted by motorcycles and people walking in the hallway talking, and police cars flying by like, good Lord, 50 miles an hour minimum on this little residential street. So anyhow, I get to go into the squatter's apartment, and man, the smell in there is an Edgar Allan Poe potpourri of evil. It is just nasty. I can't even describe it. I try to describe it to somebody in an email, and if you have delicate ears, cover them. But I described it as a combination of must, mold, your basic body odor, stale twat, and old cum. I never smelled anything like it. And there was 3 garbage bags by the kitchen. There was just rubble, clumps of dirt and dust and everything else all over the floor. And there was what appeared to be a working TV that was left there, a working microwave, an end table, a couch, and a chair. And there was a loaf of French bread sitting on the microwave. So whether they wanted to leave that stuff there and didn't care about it, or whether they just didn't have enough time to pile all the stuff out on the porch, that part I don't know about. But anyways, there was paneling all broke out of the ceiling. Uh, there was part of the wall about, I don't know, 4 feet by 4 feet minimum that looked like somebody just took a big putty knife and scraped a piece of the wall off. But I didn't stay in there too long because, I didn't know what kind of diseases was floating around in there. I walked into the rooms and I was like, the last time I was in that apartment, the actual neat freak lived there, so it was quite a contrast. And I walked into the rooms. I'm like, this apartment's bigger than mine. It's like I didn't realize that, you know. And it's actually a pretty nice apartment, especially for one person. The bedroom's bigger, so I just wanted to get out of there. He was like, "You can take anything out of here." My landlord was like, "You want any of this stuff? You can take it." And I'm like, "I don't want anything out of here. I don't even want to touch anything in here." So I left without really investigating too far into it. But what I saw on the floor that really intrigued me was, I've never seen this before because smokers like their cigarettes. Is I saw 4 or 5 whole cigarettes that were walked on so much that all. Here we go again. Somebody else is getting busted in this neighborhood, man. They're coming here. Oh, no, no. So, anyways, these cigarettes are laying all over the floor, and they've been trampled to the point where they don't have any tobacco in them hardly. They're like, just look like a, like a flat. They're not lit. You can tell the end of a cigarette's not been lit. I don't know who's getting busted or where they're getting busted or somebody's dying or what the hell's going on out here. That was an ambulance there. Wow. I scraped the blind on the window. That was nails on a chalkboard. I apologize. But yeah, that's this follow up, I guess, to the whole eviction thing. I still have like post traumatic stress disorder or whatever because I've been living in a drug depot really since April. So we're in September. That's a long time. And the way my apartment is set up, that means there's a main door and there's a hallway. So that means I was having drug people, sellers and buyers, uh, involved basically mostly in the meth trade, walking past my door all hours of the night and day. It's especially got crazy in June, but the first drug deals I witnessed outside the building uh, were in April. But anyways, um, yeah, I'm gonna try a new format with this whole thing and just make short videos without the rambling, self-indulgent stream of consciousness thing. And like I will separate the anecdotal crackle barrel uh, patter that I do from the actual reporting of how I'm doing benzo wise. So this video is specifically concerning the eviction. I talked to the landlord, and the landlord was not really helpful through this whole months upon months ordeal that I went through. I talked to the landlord, and what I said to him was, uh, that was my idea, was to make it clear that they're not going to have fun here, that it's not going to be a free ride. So July 26th, I confront some people with the machete, call the police, report that they made death threats against me. On the very next night, I make a noise complaint, and they come. And then 2 days later, I call the police again when they're locked out because the squatters didn't have a key to the front door, and they were in the process of breaking in the front door, which the police told me they had a right to do. But the neighbors thought it was interesting. They were just like watching. I was looking out the window, watching them trying to break in, and then the neighbors were watching. I'm like, what's going on? So I called the cops and I told them that, somebody was trying to break into my house. And then I just had the police here 3 days ago reporting death threats against myself. And I got their attention, and then they got here, and then I already recounted all that, so we don't need to go there. But that was part of my plan, was to put pressure on them, and then I had talked to another friend who rents, and he told me about a strategy he used with somebody that was going to make him a victim, which is he said, look, it's going to cost me like $200 to evict you anyway. We can hate each other for a month and a half, or I can just give you this money and you give me the keys. So I figured if I acted like I did and had the cops all over them getting in their business and confronting them with machetes and stuff, and then the landlord was like, look, man, it's going to cost me $200 to get rid of you anyway. Here's $200, drug users. Take this $200 and give me the keys and we'll call it even. Then I could get them out of here at the beginning of August. But the landlord, for some reason, did not want to do it that way and thought it was illegal. So the day that I went up in the apartment, I told him like that was the plan. And what I said to him word for word was, but you didn't go along with it. You know, I said the idea was for me to play hardball with him and for you to uh, bribe him out of here. And but you didn't go along with it. He didn't, make any reply at all to that. He just looked at me. You know, I don't know why he didn't want to do that. It made perfect sense to me. I wouldn't be in the state I'm in now because I would have had a month to recover from all that nonsense instead of it's only been exactly a week since eviction day. So, I'm still having issues where I'm waking up, and once I'm awake because I had death threats. If I hear something that wakes me up, or if I'm awake, or even just out of habit, if I'm awake, I'm awake. So if I wake up in the middle of the night at 2:30, I might as well not even try to go back to sleep. So that's what happened to me last night, and then I had to sleep in the afternoon today. I don't feel all that great now. But anyways, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to say is I went inside that apartment, and it was an Edgar Allan Poe potpourri of vileness. I have never smelled anything like that before, but you got to remember that was a drug house and a flop house where they actually left the door literally open and people were just random people going in there, and I saw street people coming in there, and that kind of cracks me up now that I'm thinking about it. I was actually going to take a novelty product called liquid ass that smells like rotten garbage and shit and spray it in their apartment to make it uninhabitable, and I go in there and it might have smelled worse than liquid ass in there. They would have been like, ooh, did somebody clean? So I'll end there. All right, I'll talk to you next time. If that was a repeat, you have my apologies. Bye bye.